Hey there, Heather. Hello there. It's Jeff Cutter. I welcome you to yet another video in the Stone Cold Hockey 83-84 series where we are taking a look at the Edmonton Oilers and trying to ruin the Islanders' drive for five. We are 23-14-3. We had a rough bump in the road. Um, we've uh, we've had some slumps. We were once 15-12-5. We've won 8 in a row, which is a record. We had some hiccups. At one time, we were 11-11-3. Ever since then, we've been 12-1-2. Anywho, we lead the Smythe with Calgary, Winnipeg, and Vancouver behind. Of course, the top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. LA is far behind. In the North, St. Louis and Minnesota have the 40-point mark. Toronto and Chicago are 3-4, with Detroit falling behind. The dead things. And the Adams, Buffalo, Boston, Montreal, and Quebec are all in the 40-point club, with Buffalo at 57 points. Hartford's only at 23. And in the Patrick, you got Washington, Rangers, Islanders, and Philly all in 40 points. Pittsburgh, New Jersey, who in real life did the Turtle Derby to get the number 1 pick, which beat the Pittsburgh, are crapping the bed. Goal scoring, our own Wayne Gretzky, 30 goals. He's only one behind Pierre LaRouche, who's having a renaissance here for the Rangers. Rick 5 also has 30 goals. Paul Coffey, Kitchener, is tied for 11th with 23 goals, which is amazing for a defenseman. Yuri Curry's at the 20 mark. Glenn Anderson is one away from that mark. Points wise, Mr. Gretzky leads Mr. Coffey in the race with Howard and Trottier behind. So we have 1-2 in scoring, and that's it. That's all in the top 30. Goes against, well, Randy Moog's 16-3-3. He's been on fire, whereas Grant Fuhr 7-9-2 has not. Al Jansen, Tom Parasso, and Rolly Muleson are your 3 best goalies. Standings wise, we played 40 games. Hartford's played 37. Well, it's almost like it never matters. Points percentage, no big change in anything, right? Nope. We've scored 180 goals, which is tops in the conference and second in the NHL behind the Rangers is 183. Well, they've done pretty well. They have a plus 50 goal differential. We only have a plus 36 by comparison. But we do have the fewest goals against in the Campbell Conference, which is pretty good. Second in goals in our conference is Minnesota, 170. Anyway, we're 10-7-1 at home, 13-7-2 on the road. We actually have the most road wins in the NHL. Calgary, our provincial rival, has 12. Whereas we've had some fun tonight. Anyway, 10 wins at home. We are tied with St. Louis and Toronto for the most by team in the conference, whereas 8 teams in the Prince of Wales Conference have more than have double digits. Highlights wise, you see everything, the hat tricks with many hat tricks, including Stan Smith having a hat trick against us, but in a 5-4 loss. Steve Yzerman had a hat trick in an 8-3 loss. Can you imagine? Gretzky with a hat trick. Most memorable games, lots of games in the 30s, 12 of them. The top 5, well, New Jersey, Toronto on October 16th, when Toronto had a 6-3 lead and gave up 4 straight goals, including an overtime. St. Louis, Winnipeg, 2 days before Christmas, a 13-goal showdown, which St. Louis won in overtime with Mark Reed's goal, and Toronto, LA on October 8th, when the Leafs and Kings played the second game of the season, 13 points. Philly, Quebec on October 25th, with Quebec up 4-1 and choking it. And Toronto's win on November 12th, being down 4-1 to the Flyers and winning in overtime. Our highest scoring game is 30 points against Minnesota. We were down 3-0 to Minnesota. I don't remember if I did that game or not. No, I would have said something. But yeah, that's how it is. The best comeback, lots of games at 3-goal comebacks. Including the Rangers. The Rangers were up 3-0 and gave up 9 straight goals. Anyway, we are playing Minnesota, speak of the devil, for goal scoring. We have Grant Fuhr, the first African Canadian or African American, I guess, hockey player in the Hall of Fame, which is stupid. Gilles Meloche, though, the former goalie of the Cleveland Barons, who then merged with Minnesota. He's your star goalie. Don Beaupre from close to Kitchener, but from Waterloo. He's the backup. John Casey, a young John Casey, is your third string. And Jim Craig, Miracle on Ice, unfortunately, has not helped him in the NHL. He's your fourth string. Of course, we have Andy Moog, our backup. We have the great Wayne Gretzky. Mr. Anderson almost had 20 goals. He's 1 away. The Finnish Flash before one Timu Solani took part, and that's Yuri Curry, Paul Coffey, Kitchener. Reason being is he was a former Kitchener Ranger. That's why I yell Kitchener all the time. Moose Messier, Pat Hughes, Dave Hunter, Wee Willie Lindstrom, Ken the Rat Linsman, Dr. Randy Gregg, he was a doctor, Earl Pusar, Charlie Huddy, Kevin McClellan, Donnie Jackson, Dave Lumley, the Protector Semenko, Lee Foglin Jr., Kevin Lowe, Pat Conacher, Rick Chartra, Kitchener. Look that up, people. Ken Berry, Rymel Sumuna, and Jim Playfair, who once got into a video which made the rounds on YouTube of a meltdown as a coach. The North Stars have Brian Bellows, Kitchener. That's right, part of the '82 Memorial Cup winning team for the Kitchener Rangers. Tom McCarthy, Dino the Dinosaur Cicerelli, Neil Broaden, a Minnesota native, Stevie Payne, Al McAdam, who was the hero in 1980 to sink the Habs chance third drive for 5, Bradley Maxwell, Dennis Marouk, the last Cleveland Baron to retire from the NHL, Keith Acton, Willie Plett, former Flame, Mark Napier, former Canadian, Brian Lawden, who the North Stars had picked number 1 overall in 1983 from American high school in Rhode Island, and he was a massive flop. He was, I think, the greatest number 1 overall flop until one Alex Daigle. Brett Ashton, playing for so many teams he needed to wear shirts. Craig Hartsburg, a great guy. Kurt Giles, Craig Levy, George Ferguson, Dirty Douglas, Lars Lindgren, Dan Mendich, Dave Richter, and Tommy Hirsch. Here we go. Right into the game. Aggression. It's Richter for 2. Richter? No shot. Damn it, no shot. Richter. Dave Richter. Did I say Dave Richter? Anyway. So for the Minskiers, Tommy McCarthy has 17 from Lawden and Cicerelli. Makes it 1-0. 2 minutes later. And Edmonton gets aggressive. It's Kevin Lowe in the box. And gets they score. Brian Lawden proving, hey, I'm a number 1 pick. I'm a good player. From Broaden and Cicerelli. Well, we'll see in later seasons. Much later. They score again. Marouk, his 9th from Broaden and Gordy Roberts, 3-0. Well, we came back from 3-0 one time against Minnesota. Can we do it again? I saw the puck mix Jackson. Ooh, and I feel good. Never meant to make your daughter cry. It is 3-1. We'll get them through the pie. I saw it, Don Jackson. Ooh, makes me feel good. From Coffee and Huddy. 3 minutes later. We have another chance. We stepped there. They're still up 3-0, but we've come back with a Don Jackson goal. Is this the comeback in 5 minutes? Oh, that's not get the penalty. It's Dino. Curry down. Curry scores from Wayne Gretzky, and it's 3-2. 4 minutes later. Oh, we had a chance. Curry, much later. Curry down from Semenko and Lowe makes that 3-3. And you could strike twice. Well, Minnesota can't believe it. They're up 3-0, putting Grant Fuhr on notice, but then they've given up 3 straight goals. What can happen? We don't know. 5 minutes later. Mr. Anderson from Lensman and Gretzky. 2 minutes later. That's Maxwell. Somebody get low. His 3rd from Coffey and Gretzky. They put Jim Craig in the net. And they score. Kitchener. Brian Bellows scores his 24th from Willie Plett. Empty nets time. And we survive 5-4. We come back from 3-0 down to win the game 5-4. That's a big win for us. And Minnesota must feel pissed off. They had us in 12 minutes. They had us in ruptures, but 48 minutes later, poof. Good night, sweet prince. Our 9th in a row. Now, that's amazing. We've been on fire. Minnesota went to Calgary and got their asses whipped 6-2. New Jersey beats Pittsburgh in the Turtle Derby. Our next game is against Hartford. So we get Brass Bonanza. Brass Bonanza. So we host Hartford and Moog in the nets for Edmonton. Greg Millen, RIP, who died earlier in 2025. He is in the net with Ed Stankowski and Mike Pfizer, your backups. Hartford has Sylvain Tarjan in left wing, Pierre's brother. Bob Crawford, Mark Johnson, part of the Miracle on Ice. Ray Neufeld, a young Ronnie Francis, a aging Blaine Stoughton, but he's putting up goals like there's no tomorrow. Greg Malone, Risto Siltanen, Norm DuPont, Torrey Robertson, Mike Suk, Doug Sullivan, Randy Pierce, who was once penalized 2 minutes for kissing a puck and throwing in the stands, Richie Dunn, Chris Christopoulos, who was part of a podcast, who I don't fucking care what the name is, Joe Quenneville, yes, that Joe Quenneville, Stanley Cup champion with the Chicago Blackhawks as coach, and then got turfed because of the sexual abuse thing with the Blackhawks staff, and he's back in the NHL with the Ducks as of October 2025. Dave Tippett, another future head coach of the NHL. Steve Stoyanovich. Steve Stoyanovich? I thought he was a basketball player for the University of Missouri. Mike Crombeen, who was a hero 3 years earlier with the Blues in the 1981 playoffs. Dan Brumbanet, Marty Howe still around. Oof. Well, was it him or Mark? No, it was Mark Howe who nearly died from that goalpost, jagged goalpost. Ed Hospodor, can't believe he's still around, and Mark Fusco. 4 minutes into the game, they score. Blaine's 22nd from Kostopoulos and Marky Johnson, 1-0. 4 more minutes. We actually got the score. Great one, scored first. Glenn Anderson, 1. 3 minutes later, they deliver hit, no penalty. 2 minutes. He goes. Mr. Hughes has caught from Low and Lindstrom. Makes it 2-1. Much later. He goes. Coffee, no thanks. I'm an ice cap man, and I say this. Kitchener has 24 from Moose. Edmonton has to deliver a hit. We're up 3-1. Hopefully we don't fuck up like the North Stars did. Much later. Skiller! Neufeld has 16 from Malone and Francis. Did I talk about Neufeld? I guess I did. 2 minutes later. Short draw. Francis, no. But they scored the tie of the game. Bob Crawford is 20 from Kostopoulos and Sullivan. Makes it 3-3. Bob Crawford. I think he was a coach one time. 4 minutes later. Skiller! Mark Johnson. Miracle on Ice from Neufeld and Francis. 4-3. Fuck, did I have to jinx myself? Turgeon? No. All Greg Millen can under his mask is the word rat. His 8th from Gretzky 4-4 tie after 2. I'm going to keep the goalies the way they are. 4 minutes later, into the period. And another damn penalty. It's Hughes. We're doomed. I thought so. Moke's out of the net. Ronnie Francis is 5th from Marty Howe and Bob Crawford. Remember, this is like Francis from the mid 80s. He wasn't the powerful guy he was now. Much later. It's good. That's the end. The game picked him up. His first wins for the makes it 5-5. 5 minutes later. Hit. Looks like we might have overtime. Lindstrom's going to get a penalty in overtime. We have a 9-game winning streak on the line, and we're in dead meat. No. Yeah. Siltanen, the former. Did he play for the Oilers? I think he did. Siltanen scores from DuPont 6-5. We lose in overtime. Our winning streak is over. Fuck. And we blew a 3-1 lead. Damn it. Why? What is with the dreaded first 3 goals loses the game. Philosophy Fook. Well, congratulations to Greg Millen. But no congratulations to us. Okay, so that means since we lose, we must simulate the next game until we win. Simulate till we win. We're in Detroit against the Dead Things. We lose again in overtime. Corrado Mikulev beating Andy Moog. We were up 6-5. Lang Lambert scored, and then in overtime, Eddie Johnstone from Dunlop. Damn it! Another overtime loss, and this is when the loser point was not awarded. So we have to go to Chicago, and we lose again, 5-4. We're losing the Bannerman. Oh my gosh! We have a 3-game losing streak. We had a 9-game winning streak, and now we've lost 3 in a row. We go to Buffalo, and somehow we go to the odd to win 4-3. Fuhrer beats Sauve. Buffalo goes by McKenna, Playfair, and Avenchuk. We score Anderson, John, Hughes, and Anderson. Gretzky. 4-3. On Saturday. On the 15th, we go to New Jersey. Since we won, we have to play the game. We play the worst team in the NHL, the New Jersey Devils. They have 2 goalies, Chico Resch and Ron Lowe. I'm surprised they didn't have more than 2 goalies. But yeah, Chico Resch was an Islanders icon. Ron Lowe was an Edmonton icon for first years in the Edmonton organization. He'll face Grant Fuhrer. The Devils have Mel Bergman, who as an executive with the Senators, botched the expansion draft. Jan Ludwig, Pat Verbeek, the little ball of hate. Tim Higgins, I think that's Verbeek's rookie season. Timmy Higgins, Bob McMillan, former Flame. Don Fat Liver, former Canuck. Paul Gagne. Well, you might Purdue. Rick Mahar, who would be better suited for the St. Louis Blues. Rick Mahar. Her in the car called Rick Mahar. Aaron Broden, part of the Broden family. Joe Sorella, who had that big assist to John McClain to get the Devils to their first ever playoff in 1988. Phil Russell, Dave Cameron, I think he was a future head coach. Murray Bromwell, Bob Hoffmeyer, Mike Antanovich, Ivan Fantor, Bob Lorimer, Dave Lewis on that team, former Islander, and was traded to LA in the Butch Gordon deal, which kind of started the whole trade deadline deal thing. Hector Marini, former Islander. Mike Kitchen, not from Kitchener. Ken Danico, hated by Ranger fans everywhere. Larry Floyd and Robert Palmer, not the guy who sang Addicted to Love and Irresistible. 4 minutes later, into the first period. We shoot, we can't. 2 minutes later, we're the blue dice because we're the road team. Score! Mr. Anderson. His 24th from Linsman and Semenko. 4 minutes later, aggression. We have a chance, and Don Jackson cannot put it in. Much later. Jetskiers. We got the puck, and we scored the goal. Somebody get low. Well, I could say someone get low on Ron Lowe scoring the goal, but Lowe with an E scores on Lowe without an E. Gretzky with the assist. 2-0 Lowe drops after 20 minutes. 3 minutes later. McMillan fumbles Lindstrom? No. They're lucky ducks. But we score. Wee Willie Lindstrom. The puck in the net. His 13th from Lowe and Danny Jackson. 3-0. 2 minutes. I can't remember the Wee Willie Winky nursery rhyme. I would have used it. Score. Moose. Messier. His 18 from Hunter and Hughes makes it 4-zip. Double hit. 3 minutes later. Skillers, the great one, his 35th from Moose. And that's the end of Ron's thing against the Stars team. And the Devils take a penalty to Marini. Can he score? Damn it, I thought Gretzky was going to score. Semenko can't score. Oh, we're up 5-0. So, cruise control? I don't know. 2 minutes left. Agitated? We get agitated. It's Messier. Damn it. I thought Mel Bridgman has 2 minutes later. No penalty this time. 4 minutes. Fill the clock. That's our intention. And they score for me. Sorrell and Higgins to 5-2. Unreal. But we're killing the clock. And we score. Gretzky second in the night from Coffee and Messier. Puts this game out of reach 6-2. Well, we gave up 2 goals. I kind of figured we weren't going to shut up, but we win 6-2. Anderson, Lowe, Lindstrom, Messier, Gretzky, and Gretzky. We almost had 6 different goal scorers, but we only had 5. So we win. So after this video, we are in. Ooh, where are we? Philly? Who do we get next time? We get Vancouver. All right, so we'll host Vancouver, our division rivals. Summary, we're 26-17-3, 55 points. Tops in the conference by an inch over St. Louis. Calgary second with 50. Then Winnipeg and Vancouver. LA's 18 points back. St. Louis, Minnesota, Chicago, Toronto. Your Norris. Detroit's only 5 points back. In the Adams, Buffalo and Boston looking good. Montreal and Quebec fighting for third, whereas Hartford is going nowhere. Washington looking good in the Patrick division, 68 points. We have the Rangers, Islanders, and Flyers behind. Pittsburgh and New Jersey just bringing up the rear. Goal scoring, Gretzky's number 1, 36. He leads LaRouche, Goulet, and Fave by 4 goals. And Anderson's tied Coffee for 19th pair of teammates. Goals against Mokes at 11th. You got Barrasso, Mulis, and Regan. Regan's losing his. Al Jansen has actually been not playing a lot. Yeah, I think he hasn't played enough for the thing. So Barrasso's now on top with Millicent and Pat Regan doing his job. Yeah. Grant Fierce 19th, if he must know, 375. He's done a little better. How can a guy like Danny Heron, 5-11-5, have a 3.61 goals against, whereas a guy with 13 wins like Dan Bouchard has a 3.87 goals against? Not a lot of shutouts, though. Probably like 8. Well, there's 12 goalies with a shutout, and Bob Froese is the only one with 2. So, yeah, Mark Brehard and Bob Mason both have played 4 games, and one of them have been a shutout. That just doesn't make sense. Oh, Jensen's 10-1-3. He's got to get more games and all that. So, yeah, that's kind of creepy. Anyhow, that's all for this video. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.